on WhatsApp. And this is a very big challenge without the right cybersecurity knowledge. So once again, I don't care your intention for wanting to learn either to defend, investigate, or attack. This course is there to guide you. And so in the main course, I'll be teaching us how to we'll be decompiling some malwares and setting up some ransomwares. I want to try to share a link, and so I'll be sharing some links. I'll be sharing some links with us. So while I follow up with the slide, or don't worry, I'll share the slide. So you just get to see some more cybersecurity statistics. Fine. Benefit of learning cybersecurity: increased security on system, time and money saved, empowering workforce, retain customers' trust, and defend your privacy. So it's either you are a prey or you are a predator to cybersecurity attacks. Sorry, attack should be there. It's either you are a prey or you are a predator. And I will show you how even your government is a predator. How large corporates, the likes of Google, the likes of Zoom, the likes of Amazon, many more large corporates, even Apple, your devices, all of these devices are tracking you. The telcos, MTN, Airtel, irrespective of the ISPs in your own environment, these guys are all tracking. I'm going to show you how to monitor some of these things and detect these things and stop them. So yeah, the government is playing a very large role in tracking people, and you don't want to expose some of your information to bad governance and information of your family, your friends, your children. Privacy is a very big thing, and we've come to the age where people need to start defending their privacy, and that's why we're having this course. So what you will learn in this course, you learn how private information is stolen by unauthorized users. You learn to better protect networks and data. You learn how hackers will try to look you up and you protect yourself from it. And you learn how to break into system with high success rates. So like this course is broken down into two sections, like I said earlier, the theory and the practical. So yeah, so all of this theory will just guide us on the knowledge and all of that. Then we'll go down to the practical and we'll begin to break stuff down and understand stuff with a clearer picture. And fine. I like this quotes from how many of you have seen this movie, The Matrix? So you take the blue pill and the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill and you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Very interesting. So with all I've been said so far from the beginning of this session, you want to drop out, fine, cool. You can take the blue pill and you check out. And let's see how, for those who want to continue to stay, let's get them busy and do some dirty stuff. Okay, fine. So tools to be used: Kali Linux OS, VPNs, Wapalizer, and some third-party tools. So let me share my screen so we can look at some of these third-party tools. Um, Sorry, just 1 second. Okay, fine. Can we see my screen? Can we see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, fine, cool. So I'm gonna be guiding us through some of these resources. Uh, so Just a little challenge with this. Sorry. Yeah, so back then while I was still learning stuff around C++, and I read a comment from Bijan Stroop, one of the founders of the C++ handbook back then, was talking about the law of less privilege. So if I'd displayed my screen, some people would have seen some private informations about me. And yeah, so it's part of restriction. Yeah, so you just restrict privileges. Apologies, I never knew I was gonna have these challenges with Google Slides. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen back. Fine. So one of the tools we'll be looking at, so for the third party tools, so I'll just open this link so we can at our various end open some of these links. So the consumer fraud reporting. Yeah, so the consumer fraud reporting, yeah, it gets to guide you. So if you're an attacker, you want to learn strategies on some high advanced frauds going on globally, and you want to imbibe some of these strategies in attacking your targets. The COVID scam, email scam, ransomware scam, and many more scams. So yeah, um, you just keep checking out each of these resources. I shared some more resources. So the CV details, common vulnerability and exposures. So it's something you want to have your eyes on before we begin to get dirty. So for this particular link I shared, you see top 50 products CVS score distribution, and we can see Debian Linux, a number of vulnerabilities 3067, Android, and you can see number of vulnerability 2563, Linux kernel 2357, Mac OS 2212, and so the number of you can see this hash number of vulnerabilities here. So this thing defines is all called the severity level. So the severity level has to do with how much of a risk the vulnerabilities are. And we can see for Debian Linux, we have 141. And we can see Android has 828. So you keep hearing that Android operating system, there are a lot of flaws. And see, one of the biggest way to break into any organization or any individual is having to spot out their weakness to patch update. So sometimes your browser tells you update now, you ignore it, or your phone operating system tells you update now, you ignore it. Now, if I check if I can know your operating system at the current version, I can check out on CV details the weakness for that your specific version, and I'll use that weakness, the vulnerability spotted out for that your specific version, and use it to exploit that your operating system. So now this is not just for the Android device, even for firewalls, even for servers, even for network devices, hardware, softwares. So we can see the Acrobat Reader has 672 high severity. So you can see the Windows 10 has 232, Acrobat DC 672. So come down here and play with this thing later. Internet Explorer 605. So you can click on a specific on each of these stuff, then we'll begin to browse through each of these severity and the CV ID of each of these items. So we can see uh, invex CD pass, buffering period, blah blah blah. So using Android 8.0, 8.1, and 9. So we can see the Android versions that are vulnerable, and you can see the severity score of 9.3. So any severity score that is higher than 6.5, it's a very high severity. So between 4.0 and 6.5, 6.9, you're talking about medium. So medium, if you are doing a vulnerability scan, which we're going to be looking at some vulnerability scans for this particular free course, and you're going to see some severity scores. So you can get to grade. I'm going to show you a simple scale for this severity score. So I can look for either via Google or a specific target, look at their current version and use this particular exploit to take them down. Okay, fine. Quickly, let's look at, so we can look at this other 50 products. Sorry, let me just open this in the new tab. Then, so for these 50 products, yeah, it's the same thing I've showed us. So let's open what's my IP address. So these are some tools. I'm just trying to play around some of these tools that we're going to be using. And then, okay, you can see what's my IP address, detecting my IP address, and ISP, SpectraNet, City Lagos, Region Lagos, Nigeria. I'm currently in Nigeria. So some of these links, you're all going to need them. Receive SMS online. So you can come check this one out. You can check it out. You can receive SMS and use a particular number to, yeah. So reconnaissance. I'm going to go very detailed into reconnaissance, but these are some of the tools we're going to be using, and even scam buster. So you're trying to reach out to your specific target. Let me open this particular guy, um, like bug me nuts. Sorry, bug me nuts. So on bug me nut, I can get credentials for various social network and use it to begin to reach out to various target, either the organization or individual. So let's say I type LinkedIn here, linkedin.com, and then bug me nut shows me different credentials I can use to log into LinkedIn. So if you're my target, I can begin to try some of these credentials, try to log into LinkedIn and begin to reach out to you. But eventually I'm having issues having to create a fake account on LinkedIn, and this already existing account. So scam buster. So we'll begin to look at some various scams already ongoing, and how you can copy some of these scamming techniques. So not everyone comes here to read these things. So a lot of people, even technology guys, fail to come to update themselves about cybersecurity and all of that. So and there are a lot of organized crimes, so organized scams, and also you don't even need to begin to rack your head to start thinking so many plenty things. Just come, copy a particular scamming technique, you use it on a particular organization, and you blow them out. Like you will blow them out literally. So receive SMS online. Yeah, so these are various phone numbers I can use to receive SMS, engage. I can set up WhatsApp with any of this phone number and begin to engage you. And you think I'm from USA or I'm from India or wherever. Yeah, and when WhatsApp sends an OTP, it comes to this specific number like live. But these are public numbers, and they are all disposable. So each of the content get disposed. Okay, fine. So the next item we should look at, so vulnerability database. Sorry, I have to be fast. We have a lot to cover, especially on the practical session. Yeah, so vulnerability database. So let's take our time, each of these links. So browse through um, vulnerabilities, get to see their threat level, various devices, and I'll show you how to exploit these vulnerabilities based on each of these vulnerability databases. So you can see this NIST vulnerability database, virus total. So you can use virus total to scan different files. So when someone sends you an email content attachment or whatever, so I can choose a specific file and scan it. Sorry, this is 5:30. I'm just trying to be fast. Exploits database, Google hacking database. Now we're going to spend some more time on this particular tool, and You can see the Google hacking database. I can I can pick this now, in title webcam X5 in text live streaming, and this should search up Google and give me live webcams. So this this should be a live webcam here, so you can see this is somebody's live webcam. The environment I don't know, but I can use this IP address to query and to tell me the particular region and the ISP that has been assigned that particular IP that's enabling this person to broadcast this. If you're exploiting this thing, you are doing that at your own risk. So this is just strictly educational purpose. This is another webcam. Yeah, so we have a couple of webcams. So Google hacking database is one very on Recon, it's a stealth way of reaching out to your targets. Oh, I think this is around someone's farm, and this car looks like it is stuck here for a while. So you can go through each of these stuff and do whatever you want to do. But please, as a technology professional, I'll show us some more weakness. Like before this course, I ran some like so if you're a technology professional and you use the device Nexus, so I can scan for Nexus scan reports. And these are different companies who, yeah, misconfiguration of their Nexus. They have their scan reports live. I can access their scan reports, check out the vulnerabilities, and try to exploit these vulnerabilities. Yeah, although that's why you need to understand we're going to be spending good time with this course, and especially on the next course that we're going to be having. You need to understand the difference between a honeypot and a non-honeypot. So some of these things are honeypots and some of it are not honeypots. So you need to have that skill as a cybersecurity expert to discern. I think I brought one other one. Okay, so imagine Dangote Group in Africa. I can access who is the network engineer, and it gives me the network engineer for Dangote Group. Oh, I can see Martins, Olorunshola. Yeah, so you can fill in whatever job position here, maybe help desk or whatever. And yeah, so these sites, so Google hacking database, so you specify. Now there are various commands. There's a cheat sheet I'm going to be sharing with us. Um, I'm going to share a cheat sheet with us. Uh, so with this, you understand Google hacking database very well. You see some commands and you have a very good knowledge of how to navigate each of these commands. So I just explained some little out of this and we'll see how we can move on from there. So in URL, FBI, preventing ransomware. So we're looking for in URL, that within the URL, we're looking for the title the FBI. So when we specify site of Microsoft.com, I'm saying, hey, Google, I want to search all of these things here, but strictly for Microsoft.com. Search for only files. Yeah, so I can search for file type of JPG and specify whatever I need to specify. Um, Malware Hunter. Yeah, so I'll be sharing this PDF with us. I don't know why it's not loading fully. Let me try to reload it. Okay, so finding exact phrase. Um, do not include this word here, the minus sign. So I'm looking for something on Microsoft site, advanced malware hunting. I don't want anything that has to do with beginner. I don't want anything else to do with introduction. And I want advanced malware hunting. And I want it to always also come from Microsoft.com website. So go through each of these queries in Google hacking database. Now we can look for usernames. Yeah. So we can look for usernames. Um, Even database passwords. So okay, let's look for database password, db underscore password. So we open this and see what it gives us. So you can just play on Google hacking database and we can see several misconfigurations. And these misconfigurations we can use in exploiting when we need to exploit. Um, so Google itself queries the web and hides some information, but with these queries, I can see, oh, the DB name for this particular site, this is the DB username, and this is, sorry, the user, the name of the database, the user, and the password. Yeah, it's on a local host, and yes, accessing this, and blah blah. These are the salt keys and whatever. Yeah, so I'm not yet to spend much time on the Google hacking database. Play with it. On this same exploit DB, let's look at search exploit DB. Now for these other ones, yeah, so these ones are now getting much more advanced. So we begin to use a tool called Metasploit. So you can, for those who have installed Kali Linux, you have Metasploit. So just by typing use Metasploit to with each of these exploits to exploit whatever application that we are after. So we can see keywords injection, WordPress plugin, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so a lot of things. So just take your time. A lot of professionals are very vulnerable to each of these things. I can even limit my search to 2020, 2021, 2019. Even banks, a lot of banks are vulnerable. A lot of frameworks are vulnerable. Some people are still running WordPress version 5.0 less than 5 points. Even some are running 3 points. Yeah, so and a lot of vulnerabilities exist. So even WordPress version, so if WordPress has released a new version, they fixed the bug, and the current version is 5.5.6. The previous version was 5.5.5, and it had the vulnerability. And someone who did set up WordPress maybe 2 months ago set up 5.5.5, and a new version came. Sorry, how? Sorry, I'm having some funny looking symbols. Let me share my screen. Fine. So a new version comes out, and they fixed a particular bug. So if you don't update that your WordPress, you're going to be vulnerable to all of the attacks of 5.5.5. So cool. This is very very important. Both either you are playing attack or you are playing defense. It's just very important. Let me try to hide this. Fine. So login2.me is on that site that you can get passwords, username and password for various social accounts. Passwordlogin.com, on that site you can get username and password. Then Canary tokens. Yeah, this tool is just very interesting. So it's a very interesting tool. So either you're a professional trying to play defense or attack. So what this tool simply does is it detects that can capture from your ISP. So try this out, Canary token. So it's a very simple way of setting up honeypots. So you can keep a document, a PDF document. You can even create PDFs. So you can create PDFs and whatever document, and you can even create web bugs and see alert when a URL is visited, alert when a host name is requested, unique email address. Now, this custom image web bug, I can create an image and embed a Canary token image to view. So if you click this to tell you that you upload a 1 by 1 GIF image, whoever clicks on that particular image, um, I'm going to get triggered. I'm going to get triggered. So I don't know what's happening with this my Zoom, and there's some funny signs coming on this, but it's fine. Either a bug. So spamic.com.decode. It's one other item I want to show you. So stuff like this, if you're seeing this sign on my screen, so if it's not a bug from my own end, it can be a weakness on the platform and somebody is taking advantage of that particular weakness. Yeah, so this happens a lot. So I can encode a particular message. If I type "I love you" and I encode this, it gives me a generic jargon, and I can copy this generic jargon and I send it to Samuel of Bloom Africa, and any other person who tries to read this thing thinks myself and Sam were talking dirty or whatever. And Sam can just copy the same text, come to this spamic, come to the decode part of spamic, and tools. So I have an email from Kagu. Let me copy. I think I can show you how to copy this from your Gmail. So let me share my screen and I stop sharing. So I logged onto my email. So if I click on this, I can see show original. So show original, Google gives me each of these, but it's difficult for me to analyze what's going on here. I can copy this and bring it down to past email. I can bring it down to past email. And yeah, so I want it deleted after 5 minutes. I submit this, past email processes this and gives me a very good interpretation where I can see the available host names, and the email or URLs for just that particular email that has come from Cargo. So I can see, oh, it comes to this email, and I can just take my time and begin to open each of this stuff and identify where the email is coming from, which email service provider and whatever. Okay, fine, cool. So and URL void, yeah. So you can open URL void, put a particular URL, and you get to see if it is a vulnerable URL or not. Okay, I'll share the cheat sheets, and yeah, we'll move on. We'll come back. So data itself has a soul, and so part of her requires privacy. Yeah, this is very important. So how many of you know Edward Snowden? So in 1990s, the internet had yet fall victim to the greatest iniquity in digital history, and they move by both government and business to link as intimate as possible users' online personas to their offline legal identities. Now, all of this thing is just trying to tell you that yeah, so privacy keeps feeding and feeding and dying and dying. And I will show you, for those of you in Africa, I'll show you even some startups are building tools that can allow you query your information via your phone number, your BVN, your NIN, your CSC, or your government ID. You can query anybody's information, get anybody's PI, begin to sip in information for whatever organization, begin to use this information against them, try to even access their account balance even without permission. Crazy. Yeah, so for those of us who did not watch this video, this is a video clip. You can take your time to watch this video. Sorry, I'm trying to be very fast. Then Bloom Africa. So there's going to be a paid class coming up May 25th, and under attack, we're going to be doing a lot around web application penetration testing, Android application penetration testing, iOS web servers, forensic investigation, reverse engineering, network penetration testing, and many more. So down to defense, we'll be doing a lot of things: attack, defense. Then we'll be having a conference around the future of cybersecurity. We'll be having some wonderful panelists and some bonus courses that will be coming, and certificates will be issued for this May 25th course. Yeah, it's an 8 weeks course, and it commences May 25th. So immediately after this class, yeah, so links is going to be communicated for those of us who will be interested. But it's a very big one now. We are currently in the era where we are moving, where everybody needs to take good guard with privacy. Very important. So now, penetration testing. Now, penetration testing, also called as pen testing or ethical hacking, is the practice of testing a computer system, network, or web application to find security vulnerabilities and vulnerabilities that an attacker could exploit. Now, there are various stages in the penetration testing cycle. There's the planning and reconnaissance, there's the scanning. So, in the course of this free material, we'll be spending time around 01 and 02. Yeah, I'll be showing us a lot around reconnaissance, planning and reconnaissance. Then we'll be doing some scans. Then there's the gaining access web application attacks. Just read through each of these stuffs. We'll be sharing the slides. Maintain access, analysis, and WAF configuration. So under maintain access, yeah, APT imitated to see if a vulnerability can be used to maintain access. Now, the APT has to do with advanced persistent threats. Fine. So vulnerability assessment. A vulnerability assessment is a systematic review of security weakness in an information system. So it evaluates if the system is susceptible to any known vulnerabilities, assigns severity levels to those vulnerabilities, and recommends remediation or mitigation if and whenever needed. So there are now various flows to vulnerability assessment: the asset discovery, vulnerability scanning, vulnerability assessment, and vulnerability remediation. Yes, we're going to come back to this. Let me try to share this other screen so I can access my Kali Linux. So the whole key thing around this session is having to knowing what to do, understanding how this thing works, and knowing how to break through each of these stuffs. Sorry. Fine, and past this. Fine. So after the vulnerability assessment, so we'll be looking at threat, risk, and vulnerability. So I have to zoom closer because of I'll be sharing some information that needs clarity. So in the cybersecurity space, there's threat, there's risk, and there's vulnerability. Threat is a potential harm that can come to an asset. So the thing you're trying to protect. Risk is the likelihood that the harm is being realized, and vulnerability is the weakness by which the harm can be reached to the asset. So I shared this particular table illustrating risk, threat, and vulnerability. So you see business disruption. What's the threat? Angry employees. And what's the vulnerability? Oh, angry employees can bring about a software bug. Financial losses, dishonest employees, the threats, and broken processes. So we can take our time, go through these things. They are very important. So coming down much more into reconnaissance. So reconnaissance involves collecting the maximum possible information about the victim before starting the attack. So so some of those tools I showed us in the beginning. So we can use some of those tools, falsify our information either through social media, try to track whatever IP address, try to gather some information via Google, via Shodan. I'm going to show us how to use Shodan, and so we're going to try to gather both information using both stealth, active and passive, stealth and on-stealth mode. Yeah, so these are very important. So what other words for reconnaissance? Talk about exploration, investigation, survey, observation, and many more. So under reconnaissance, there's active and there's passive. Sorry, I'm very fast. Yeah, so we just have less than 1 hour, 10 minutes. You can always go through each of these video clips, and I will still share the slide. Active reconnaissance. So active reconnaissance is a more direct approach. Hackers will use this method to probe a system for weakness, often risking early detection. Of the two, this is the fastest method of recon, actively searching for vulnerabilities or entry points. So an example to like Nmap shows you how to do stuff with active, how to carry out active reconnaissance. But the problem with active reconnaissance, as you are trying to scan the network or trying to gather information about that particular organization, so if they have some advanced tools and all of that, they can know who you are here. So from the scanning phase, they know who you are. So passive reconnaissance is now much more difficult for the organizations to know who you are. So you can go through Google, you can go through, so they just get to see you as a default request coming into their site. So they don't see what you are doing, but whereas you are gathering information about them. So this is just classification based on detection. So classification based on approach, there's now the logical reconnaissance and there's the physical reconnaissance. So logical reconnaissance, I can begin probing online their employees, probing their network, probing the DNS, the mail servers they use, probing the subdomains, probing what they do, probing the kind of devices and routers these guys use, the switches, probing their servers for available open ports and what activities happen in each of those ports, and seeing if I can interact with each of these ports, either authenticated or unauthenticated, probing their website, directory busting their website. It's all called directory busting, where we begin to bust to see some of their web pages that are running without authentication and many more like that. So these are all plenty and much more under logical reconnaissance. But physical reconnaissance, yeah, so I go physically to the environment, yeah, so I can capture their location, I can check the number of cameras, I can check the routine of the guards, yeah, so the mantras and the security steps and procedures, the number of entries I need to do for me to break into this particular bank. Irrespective of your motive, I don't care. Yeah, so this course is strictly educational. So personally identifiable information, PII. So PII is any data that could potentially identify a specific individual. A good reconnaissance accounts for 95% if the hack attempt will be successful. Very important. Yeah, so PII just really helps the attacker to carry out a successful hack. So I place this diagram that shows us for a personal, an individual. So we get to see the data points around his own PII. So the account number, the address, the vehicle license, even the plate number, the birth date, the birthplace, medical health plan number, email, the phone, the kind of phone he's using, Android phone or iOS phone, or if it's an Android phone, what version of phone, what version of the operating system is available. Oh, I can see he's still using an unupdated operating system. Oh, I can try to exploit it. Aside that, oh, what kind of applications is he using? These applications, I check severity database if they are exploits for that particular application, and if there's not, okay, fine. Can I try to leverage social engineering to trick this user into installing? If I see, oh, you're an IT engineer and you always want to have access into your servers, probably you work from home if your organization process allows it, or maybe you do that illegally, I can create a small RDP tool, remote desktop protocol tool, and with this tool, you enter your server IP information, the username and the password, and you authenticate through your phone. And I steal that information. I just send it as an email. I allow you enter your server, but with that particular information, I can always come back. So yeah, so a lot of hack attempts. So sometimes you try technological wise, and you just discover that there are some hedges you can't break. For it's probably the organization is very strong. Their technology strategy and security strategy is very, very strong. Then what hackers begin to look at, okay, fine, how can I trick them into doing what they don't want to do, and then I get each of this information and try to exploit them. Oh, I can start with the employees, I can begin to check out the guards, I can begin to find who is disgruntled. Like initially I checked I searched for network engineer for Dangote group. I can begin to follow on that specific network engineer. Oh, sorry, if you're the network engineer in this class, I'm sorry. I can begin to follow on that particular person, check his photos on social media, check if he has pasted anything at the back of his photo, check the background, probably any information, his batch number. I can try to see if I can see the batch number. I zoom the picture, extract the batch number, clone the ID card. I can fake a lot of things. Yeah, so geographic information, the full face photos, I can spoof this. Now even spoofing is now getting much more sophisticated with the art of 3D. You can print whatever item you want to print and wear whatever you want to wear. These are now more sophisticated attacks. So irrespective of your motive, it's your business. Okay, fine. So some reconnaissance questions to ask. Yeah, who is the target? An individual or an organization? Are they registered? Can I access their board members via CAC or whatever company registration in the particular company where you are? Who are their employees, and which employee is in charge of which specific department of my choice? Yeah, begin to ask these questions, and you begin to narrow down. So you begin to draw out an organogram of each of these personalities and their PII. You begin to break it down to the organization. You begin to map out. I'll show you how you can begin to map out. You can use a sample tool like Montego. You begin to map out the organization and their IP addresses, their servers, their subdomains, the IP, or all the available portals there, and I begin to check the technology and many others. So what devices do they use, both as an organization and individual? Like I talked about the RODP. Oh, they use SSH to access their Linux server. I can create an SSH too. I can even come up with a survey form and say, oh, the IT guys need to do some training and whatever, and they fill their information, and the HR passes it to the IT guys, and they fill their information on that particular stuff, and I extract some information about that particular company. See, with these informations, you can take any company down. No organization is perfect. There's no 100% security. Any organization down. Fine, cool, including government organizations. So the guards and the cleaners in charge, how do I extract information about the company, organization? Like when the boss leaves the office or arrives, where do they throw the company's trash? Very important. Because some companies have a very bad trashing policy. You just squeeze one official paper and just throw it, and the cleaner comes and dumps it there, and that information probably has server information and whatever credential, or the company's architecture, or salaries and whatever. As there may be some important information in the trashed item. What information about the company can I get from their website? Is the company looking for a Cisco engineer whose job description includes routers? Oh, cool. I checked the job part of the company on the website, and I see, oh, they need a Cisco engineer. He must be skilled with router, Cisco router, this, that. Automatically, I know, oh, that company uses a Cisco router. Now, the next thing that comes to my head is, how can I get access to that Cisco router? And how can I know the current version of operating system or firmware the Cisco router is running? So with the current version, I can then look for the vulnerability for that particular version. There's this, if I'm going, see, there are sometimes you break into systems without even having to do some big time engineering. It's not rocket science. People are using outdated softwares and firmwares. Even aside that, some OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, and software providers, they are very slow to fix the bugs around their system, and it's a very big problem. And some they don't even know that the bug exists. You can decompile a mobile application. You can some weeks ago, I did decompile a bank application. You see all of the APIs. So you see some APIs are running without authentication. You can carry out a get, a post, pass whatever param you want to carry, and you are interacting with a live database, and you can do whatever you want to do. So you decompile and you see this thing. Yeah, you're trying to explore. Even you having to decompile, yeah, it's illegal, but you have to take permission. Very important. So I took permission. Fine. What information about the company can I get from their website? How can I use a mind map to graphically represent this company, their solutions, their products, their servers, their employees? So hacking or taking down an organization down or an individual down, it's a strategic task. It's not like all of those movies you just jump in and you just type something and things are displaying. No, those are fake videos. So they've compiled each of those things to make it look interesting and all. Yeah, so when you take down an organization, a lot of recon is being done. Yeah, so understanding what goes on with that organization and coming up with plans to take them down. Yeah, so then you get to a particular level, and you might not necessarily need to do plenty recon. I just want to go straight to their tool, look for their available software, carry out a reverse engineering attack, recompile some of their software, or check their available APIs. Oh, the APIs are running with authentication. Oh, I can see their website. It's only taking HTTPS requests. Okay, what if I strip off, there's what we call HTTPS strip. I strip off the SSL from the SSL certificate, and I'll collect this response from the server via HTTP. Now, HTTP. So some servers are badly configured that you'll be surprised. By the time you strip off the SSL, you just see that the server is still returning information via HTTP. That's a bad configuration. So if you've activated the SSL, you want to take off HTTP entirely. So anyone who strips off the SSL, like, it's not just going to work. Like, the site is just going to be down. It's not returning anything from HTTP. But there are still ways around these things to beat even some advanced technology. But the key thing around defense is having to build multiple layers. Yeah, so I can begin to build multiple layers around what we are pushing, and not just at the network level, at the data at rest level, data in transit level, at the application level, and whatever level. Yeah. So how can I does the company have a technology product? Can I decompile and see the algorithms? Yeah. So I can decompile a bank mobile app. Very simple to decompile. Yeah, you can. There's all called APK extractor for Android. If it's an Android phone, go to your Play Store, download APK extractor. You can extract the APK for any bank. It gives you the APK, send the file to your laptop. Google it, you see how to unravel the .apk file, and yeah, so you can begin to read the source code directly. And if you are good with programming for that particular language that you find within the APK, you can find a way to recompile it back and push it to some other stores, and even try to install it for that same person. And so let's say I've recompiled an APK back, and when the user enters his username and password, an email is being sent. An email is being sent to my email, and yeah, he gets access into his banking, and I've gotten his credential. With his credential, I can log in into another, that's the real bank mobile application. Yeah, very interesting. So okay, is a product on Google Play Store. Which other companies depend on their product or their services, and are they weak? that can I access that I can access the company servers through them? Is the company server located on cloud or on premise? You want to know. Yeah, so you want to know. So if you want to on premise, if the cloud, if their cloud is on premise, you now begin to look at, okay, fine. I don't even need to do plenty. I can just disguise my way, understand the mantras, go slot in my flash drive, or try to get one of their disgruntled employees, settle in. Like, there are several ways to beat down any organization. Several ways, sorry. So if any, how can I access them? What are the IPs? What ports are open? Is the SSL, is a weak SSL found? Yeah, so these are all around bad SSL configuration. So the fact that I've bought an SSL certificate does not mean all of the suits in that particular SSL, they are strong. So you see various TLS versions. You have to turn off the weak encryptions and cipher mode and all of that, and turn off all of those weak SSLs and leave the current strong ones and all of that. Can I fake an international organization to audit the target organization? Yeah, all of these questions are just very important. Okay, cool. Down to the practical session. We have around 1 hour. Let's go dirty. There's this Kali Linux statement. The quieter you are, the more you are able to hear. Fine. So application level check. So we look at so there are several steps we're going to be doing: application level check, more advanced check, and the physical checks. So application level check, read through the target company website, the contents to understand what they do and the technologies involved. Okay, let's yeah, there's no permission. So we just play around different websites. So let me share my screen. We just we just play around some websites. So some websites are running, yeah, older versions of softwares, and they're just very easy to exploit. Fine. And so let's say a WordPress website, like oh, there's this Nigerian university, AAUA, is it AAUA? And So the first thing we're trying to do is to read through the website. Um, let's also open, no, we don't need Facebook. So EAUA. Um, so there's a Google Chrome extension I installed. So every one of you need to install like the WAPalizer. So if I double click on WAPalizer, it tells me, oh, CMS, WordPress. Oh, I can see widgets, Twitter, and OWL carousel. Uh, it also has video players, web server Apache. Oh, cool. I can see that they use programming language PHP. I can begin to try to find out what PHP version this website runs on, and if it runs an older PHP version, I just copy the vulnerability of that particular version and exploit it. Just like a school that called me, they had an issue with their website, and I just tried an SQL injection. So that particular WordPress version they were using was vulnerable to SQL attacks and all. Just an SQL query on the username and password, and boom, I was inside. Sometimes, yeah, so XSS attacks and all of that, yeah. So you want to understand what version, what technology is being used, what versions of this technology. Yeah, so you see all of these technology guys, they are very quick to jump in. Oh, I want to use this Angular this, Angular that, Angular this, Angular that. Oh, you see some sites are still running Angular 2. I can go look for the bugs of Angular 2 and begin to exploit this website with that particular box. PHP 5, whereas there's now very latest version of PHP. Fine. So Apache, yeah. So telling me the technology is a good one. So this is a recon. The website owners will not know I'm doing all of this. So okay, I also install WordPress theme detector. So the bad thing about WordPress, some of the themes are vulnerable, and these people don't get to know about it. So you can open several WordPress websites. Um, Even aside WordPress websites, the WAPalizer will tell you whatever technology the stuff is running on. So I can see, oh, these guys are using University of College Education team, and this is a link to where the team is on Team Forest, and I can see, oh, these are plugins that were detected. Now, exploiting this thing is a crime. I'm not exploiting this thing. These are just recon. We're just gathering information. Um, Sorry, hold on. Okay, fine. Before I go over to the next thing, I want to show us when you see when you see when you see a WordPress website, you can check out the particular version and try to exploit it based on the version. So take for instance, so we opened AAUA initially, and so how to check a WordPress version for any WordPress site. So there are some tools you can use in hiding the version. Now, the version, understanding the version, those are some informations that you just want to hide because of recon attacks and because of guys like us. So if I do view page source, if I control F, if you are using Google Chrome, view page source as well for Mozilla. If I type generator, it tells me, oh, these guys are running on WordPress 5.5.3, and this is even an older. Let's open WordPress. I think this is an older version of WordPress. Then I can then check what has WordPress fixed. You can see stable release now. They have WordPress has 5.7. So that's an older version of WordPress. I'm not saying you should go attack them. It's just information gathering. So you want to be sure that you are gathering all of this information. Okay, sorry. Let me clear some of these things. So the canary tokens, yeah. So if you are here and you play defense for your organization, you want to check out canary tokens as well. Um, a simple way of setting up honeypots. Yeah, very simple and easy way of setting up honeypots. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is yeah. So if you've checked out the technologies that power this thing, and yeah, so if it's a WordPress, you check out the version of WordPress, you check out, yeah, so you can then Google, for those of you, you can begin to type on your Google, yeah, WordPress 5.5.3, and you check out the box, you can search by box, you can go to the CVE details I showed you initially and search for WordPress 5.5.3, open exploit DB I showed you initially, search for WordPress 5.5.3. See, hacking is just very easy, like very, very easy. So it now gets difficult when the target has a lot of matter strategy and defense and tools, and their patch updates are all very strong and up and running, and yeah, so a lot of mantras, very, very difficult. Yeah, so no organization is 100%, but you take your time. So those kind of target now, then you now begin to sit down to calm down and look for ways that you can exploit this target, either by exploiting the vulnerability of any of the apps that they use, and these guys are probably, you're exploiting their next patch update, Windows patch update. So you are trying to, yeah, so you're just looking for backdoors and ways around these things. Yeah, so this class is strictly for reconnaissance, but it's a good thing you understand what happens as an attacker and how to get around this thing. So then you try some Google hacking database on the target. Yeah, so let's look at Google hacking database in some little more details. It's very important that a lot of things you can do. You can do a lot of things with this whole Google hacking database thing. Um, yeah, you can just do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things. Username, passwords, a lot of juicy information. We keep nesting and nesting. You can see we have 6,351 entries. Yes. So parent directory, webcam, I'll show the webcam, um, IP camera. So these things, they are very simple. In URL, whatever is in the URL, so you can always customize whatever you want to look for, like very easy. So yeah, you can always customize. So I can then type, since I saw they use Apache there, I can type something around Apache, and if I write index of Apache, and yeah, I'm not going to be doing this thing because I don't know what's going to bring out, but I can type index of Apache, then type site, and yeah, and I type xyz.com because I know these guys are using an Apache. So I want to check, oh, if they have some misconfigurations around their system. This is going to bring out for this particular site index of Apache, and yeah, so that's a vulnerability if they have misconfiguration. You can see Apache port and whatever. So the whole key idea around this thing is scouting for information. So for those of you who scout the internet and looking for vulnerable people, yeah, hackers are also known as the fixers. Like they're the fixers, because if these things are not being exploited, this organization will not take correction and want and make attempt to fix these things. So we want better technology. So hackers play that role in bringing about the better technology. But it's more interesting if you are trying to conduct an attack and it's for a better value to humanity, rather than bringing down organizations that are not meant to be brought down. Okay, fine. So yeah, you can filter based on Apache. If they use .NET, you can filter based on whatever Microsoft technology. Pages containing login portals, files containing password. If I open this thing now, yeah, so a lot of companies even have they have misconfigurations on their, as simple as GitHub accounts. Human and oh, this these are just some juicy information. I can see username, password. I can see so many things about this server. Yeah, so go Google hacking database, try a lot of these stuffs and try them yourself. There are a lot of queries you can try, a lot of queries you can try. So take your time and try this out. Yeah, very, very helpful. So before you see you want to start doing breaking and plenty others, you just want to try some of these things. They really work. Fine. So we try some Google hacking database. So I'm going to share the PDF sheets for Google hacking database cheat sheets. You can also Google it. Then try to get the subdomains associated with the website and their email server. So we have some interesting tools we can use in doing this. A lot of tools you can use in getting subdomains and their emails. One of these tools we're going to be using is the Harvester. So the Harvester, you check out your Kali Linux. So if you've installed your Kali Linux, you can open your Kali Linux right now, and let us check out stuff around Kali Linux. Sorry, I'm fast. The main class, that's the May 25th class. Yeah, I'm going to take my time, break stuff down, as well as other trainers will take our time to break stuff down. So because we're just having 2 hours and just to share some information around the whole reconnaissance thing. So this is my Kali Linux, and so we're going to be opening a simple tool under information gathering. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll share a video on overview of the Kali Linux. So if you have it installed, so the simple tool, I don't need to. Sorry, this is my. Can't I hide this? So under information gathering for Kali Linux, I can see the various tools on DNS analysis. I can see IDS, IPS identification. I can see live host identification, network and port scanner. This if you've installed it. Now, please be warned. I told you. So this key thing around hacking is not just tool. It's not just a tool thing. It's understanding what some of these tools are doing. Sometimes you might not want to use some tools because they leave a lot of footprints. Footprint meaning so the tool helps you gather this information and it leaves your traces, and when there's an issue or if it's a very proactive organization, they can nail you down. And yeah, let's say that time you did have footprinting on them, and this tool left your footprint, then they automatically begin to run a trace on you to find you and yeah, put you behind bars. So it's illegal. Yeah, it's illegal to run a lot of these stuffs on organizations without permission. It's illegal. But yeah, so gathering information is not illegal. Yeah, you can stumble on this information, but you're not doing anything with it. And yeah, scanning, you're leaving your footprint there, it's illegal. It's illegal to scan. So you don't just want to jump into some tools. So I was going to open a particular tool. So there's one tool I like to use, the Harvester. Let me just query the Harvester. So the Harvester, okay. The Harvester. So the Harvester takes a couple of parameters. Let me open the Harvester also on a new tab. So I can see, sorry, the Harvester on this particular. Okay, let's use Facebook. The Harvester Facebook.com and then -b all. So I'll just show you the parameter that the Harvester takes. So if you look at this other side, you see -d specifies the domain. It depends on the version of the Harvester you're using. I'm using 3.2.0. -b specifies the source. So there are several sources. So either you're specifying Google as the source -b or whatever. So I just chose to specify all. So let's have the Harvester to run and we'll see what it gives us. So so it has checked up with Netcraft database source and DuckDuckGo is a search engine that helps with anonymity. So just a few more minutes and this comes up. We'll see the results. So with a simple tool like this, you can extract the subdomain, you can extract the email addresses, you can also extract social media information, probably LinkedIn and whatever for that particular target domain. I'll also show you other ways these things can be done. So this for Facebook. So a good company, not a good company, a company that takes in very good, very good security strategic, very strategic security care, um, covering a lot of stuff and hiding a lot. You can't hide every single thing. That's the bad thing about security. Oh, we can see director of engineering, a Wang. Oh, these are these are OSync tools, open source intelligence tools. So it's scout information from the internet, and we can see Zeph Rosbrink as the software engineer. Um, let this thing keep running. We'll see their email servers, we see their email addresses, we see the subdomains. Yeah, so this is a very good tool I like to use. So as the more we've specified, probably Netcraft alone, the search would have been faster. Would have just had probably subdomains and email addresses and yeah, just little level information. So based on the data sources, but we specified all. So this search is still going to take some little more time. Network infrastructure, Sharaman. Yeah, so these are information that are just available. Facebook strategic media partner, Joy. So you can begin to gather the names of the employees and begin to isolate them. So you have a very good graph. You begin to isolate the employees and begin to try to get their PII. Yeah, so geolocation, the devices they use, just like if you had watched the video trailer we placed for the Bloom Africa course, you see how there's this group as the N2 group in Israel. So the Israeli, we have badass Israeli organization working on cybersecurity and doing a lot of advanced researches. Oh, cool. Okay, still running. So let's see. So these are subdomains. So we can see different subdomain associated with Facebook, different subdomain, different subdomains. Yeah, so all of these are good information. So we're not just getting the subdomain, we're also getting the IP addresses from each of these subdomains. Yeah, good. So this scan is done. Yeah, so it's illegal to do this scan, and um yeah, defaults are meant to show you the VPN technology being used. The recommended VPN technology. Now, VPN has vulnerabilities, and some people can just take one VPN to land. Oh, VPN. Yeah. So if you are trying to conduct a sophisticated attack on large corporate and government and many others, um, yeah. So if you're trying to do some of these things, there are some VPN protocols you don't want to use. Like the IPsec has a flaw, and there are some internet busting information of some dirty leaks of how the CIA and some large corporate have been able to weaken some part of the IPsec protocol under the VPN, and and funny enough, a lot of organizations, the banks, use IPsec. Oh, setting up a site-to-site tunnel, IPsec protocol, or a remote access a IPsec. Whereas IPsec protocol is weak. Yeah, it's one of the best, but in line with government, protecting yourself from these international guys and all. Yeah, so it's weak. Sometimes you want to combine multiple layers of security. Yeah, this solves a lot of problem. But recommended protocol we're going to be using for the next course. Why I'm going to show you a lot around VPNs, how we attract online, how you can track users online and many others. So recommended protocol for the VPN, you check out OpenVPN. So after this, go read up OpenVPN. So some of these other VPNs implement the OpenVPN protocol, like the Node VPN. Yes, so some good VPN providers implement these protocols, but there's all called trust. So in the cybersecurity world, you just have to have zero trust. trust nobody. Like trust nobody, because some of these organizations, they are working with the devils that you are running away from. They work with the devils, or even some of these organizations, they've been hacked by these devils. So yes, they are using that same technology, the open VPN technology, to route your traffic and all. And probably they are saving each of these logs, and the CIA or NSA has access to this log. So crazy. So let's look at another tool, the next stage. So this is for subdomains and email server. The Harvester tool helps with that. Let me drop the Harvester tool. Yeah, I'm going to drop this PDF. So I'll drop this so we can see each of these things going on. Get email associated with the domain name. Yes. The Harvester tool helps with that. Get the IP, the respective IP address associated with the domain name. Harvester tool also helps with that. On that tool, we can also look at is Maltego. Um, Let me share my screen so we look at Maltego. Yeah, so there are several interesting tools here. So this class is just an high level touch. I'm not going to be showing you deep down how to protect yourself from some of these tools. Yeah, some of these tools are killing. Yeah, so the best way to go is to go stealth, except you are running this active recon on your own host or on your own IP addresses and all of that. So you can check out Maltego. So Maltego, it's a GUI tool. There's a free account and a paid account. So I'm using a 2021 Kali Linux. So if you're having this, you should be having and you're having this update, you should be having 4.2 of Maltego. Um, then even the next class, a lot I'll be showing us. So the fact that you have Kali Linux does not mean you are protected. It's all called privacy and anonymity. So I opened, yeah. So I'll share us an image around privacy and anonymity. Sorry, hold on, just 1 second. Sorry for those who are lost because I'm very fast. Actually, the newbies in cybersecurity space. Um, yeah, so that's why we are having the main class coming up for May 25th. We're going to be doing a lot. You'll be breaking into Android phones. We'll be breaking into iOS devices. We'll be breaking into iOS X, that's Mac operating system, Windows operating system. We're breaking into servers. Yeah, so this is just high level. You are breaking in, but at recon stage. So the art of reconnaissance. Yeah, so information gathering. So yeah, you are gathering a lot around their PII. Oh, I was going to show us something. There are some devilish tools in Africa, devilish startups um, that are giving people's PII information. So you want to check them out. You can use them in grabbing whatever information you want to grab. Um, some of these companies like we have Doja, sorry, Dojah. We have um, Doja, sorry, Doja. So you want to check these guys out. I won't tell you what they can do. So I'll tell you what they can do. I have an account with them. You want to check what they do. Like you want to check their services out. With someone's phone number in Africa, you can extract the BVN, you can extract even some more social security numbers, and for those in Nigeria, the NIN, you can extract a lot of information. Even with their account number, you can extract their balance. You can extract a lot of stuff, even their spending patterns and all of that. So a lot of interesting APIs here that you can use. There's on that guy, one pipe. So this is for people in Africa. So these guys, they've integrated with telcos, and they're extracting this information from both telcos and bank, and So one pipe is another guy. Um, a lot of information, a lot of information, a lot of information. So a lot of information. So create an account with one pipe and see what they are doing. Yes, I have an account. I can't log in to show that here for privacy reasons. Even Doja, create an account with Doja. Then another person I'm going to show you is Smile Identity. So you want to create an account with Smile Identity. For these are for people in Africa. Onboard, verify, authenticate users across Africa. This is crazy. Like this is crazy. These guys are returning. You can see these are popular brands in Africa. These guys are returning. These guys are returning your information. You can see cheaper cash. Cheaper cash is also Ghanaians and I think Kenya. They're present in Kenya. So you want to create accounts with these guys and let's open their documentation. I'll also open Doja documentation. So you see some of these things and what they are doing. So these are also other ways of conducting reconnaissance. Yeah, grabbing people's PII. Um, so you can see under BVN information. Um, sorry, KYC services. We can look up people's BVN. Um, so we can look up people's BVN and we pass the BVN and you can see the response. So this is a sample response of what's coming out. If you pass the BVN, it gives you the BVN, the date of birth, the email, enrollment bank, enrollment branch, first name. So just imagine even the image. Yeah, so this information is not just available for your banks, it's also available for you. Create account with these guys. There's little or no verification, and you have access to people's information. You have their BVN, you have access to their information, you have their phone number, you can extract their NIM and even their BVN with their phone number. These are just crazy services. You can see their phone number, and so this is for basic, and this is for the full. So let's check out even the NIN as well. So you can see the information that these guys are returning. So create your own accounts with them, and you can query anyone's information, private information. And okay, there's that for the bank. So they have account information, the account information. So you can see the account number, the account BVN last 4 digits, account type, currency, the balance. So you can query people's balance. You can query people's balance just by getting their account number. So just imagine you create one form of, and saying you want to blah 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 blah, and you can extract from phone number. You can begin to dig down to BVN, down to all of the account number connected to the BVNs, and from the account number connected to the BVNs, you can dig out the balances of each of these account number. These are just too much of an information. Like I showed us initially, there's a future that's coming globally, and everyone now needs to shield him. Everyone has to shield herself. Like you have to shield yourself with the best security strategy, because there's a big, um, um, very big stupid era that's coming. Yeah, very big stupid technology era. So technology is eating up and exposing several information. No one is safe except you're applying the right strategies. So that's why several governments are trying to shut down strong level encryptions. Several governments are trying to shut down even some technologies like the blockchain technologies. That's just because they are having access to seeing everything, and it's a big problem. Yeah, it's a big problem. So that's why the next class we're going to be having, we're going to spend some time. There's going to be a session for privacy and anonymity. There are some tools and softwares and operating systems. So privacy goes down to, how can I shield an information that, yeah, um, someone can know I am the person behind that information, but they cannot know the content of the information. Anonymity, they can't know the person behind that particular information. So yeah, I'm pushing that information. They can see the information, but they don't know. So an example of anonymity, talk about the genius behind blockchain, Nakamoto or whatever. Yeah, so that's anonymity. Yeah, so we don't know who is behind that. It can even be a group or whatever, or a single individual or a group. So yeah, so shielding yourself, there are several stuff then begin to look at and set up so many advanced configurations. Then there's how you now want to begin to balance your life, your payment life, your everyday life. Even there's some operating systems you can use. Even yeah, so my host operating system I'm using now is Mac OS, and whatever search I do, I'll show you how to disable a lot of tracking. Your operating system is really tracking. But however, you can disable a lot of this, but you can't disable completely all of it, and it's a big problem. It's tracking your searches, it's tracking your location. Google is tracking you, your operating system is tracking you. Either you're using a mobile device or your laptop device, you are being tracked. Like, you're really being tracked, and it's a very big problem. So we're going to be spending time on privacy and anonymity. One of the operating system we're going to be recommending, yeah, very strong, powerful industrial operating system when it comes to privacy and anonymity. We'll be looking at um, Cubes. So you can check out Cubes out, and we'll be setting up the Whois network. The Whois network, a very interesting network that helps with privacy and anonymity. And so we're going to set up multiple layers. So imagine having the Whois network that is protecting all of the stuff you are doing. Yeah, and combining it with VPN. So you have your VPN and you're having your Whois network, and you're now using an operating system that partitions your life. So you can all check out Cubes. Um, let me open Cubes here. So then on that thing again, so it's one thing for you to use softwares. So it's on that thing for you to have a very good, healthy security lifestyle. It's not all applications you want to download and begin to fill in your information. It's not all forms you want to begin to enter your private information. So many startups are coming up with different mobile apps, like the last cybersecurity conference that was being held by the CBN of Nigeria. Like, no, not last, sometime ago, 2019. So I asked the question as to, okay, fine, is there going to be any regulation in the finance space? Because a lot of startups keep building several apps, pushing several apps, and collecting users' information, and this is a very big problem. So if you are vulnerable, or you're one of the person who like to try new startups out, or you like to test and you're entering your main information, is a problem. So even if you're going to test, yeah, so you want to have several versions of your life, and several versions of your life, and several tools, and several strategies, and levels of access, and what you do in these several versions of your life. There's a very big ill security that is looming the globe, because more users are coming online. Each of these startups I'm showing you that are pushing out these private informations of various users. Some of these things you don't know them till today, and a lot of startups are using this. Imagine you sign up for a particular place, you enter your phone number, and with your phone number you can route your account number and check your account balance, and that's too much of an information. Who is behind that system, and what is he seeing about me? Is he meant to see what he's seeing about me? It's a very big problem. So BVN information, subscription. Oh, let me open on income pattern. So we see some crazy stuff around income pattern. So I don't know what is applicable for various companies, various countries, but this is applicable for those in Africa. Yeah, so you can see average monthly income. This is, so imagine I pass a parameter of the account ID and the particular duration, and I can get the average monthly income. And yeah, these informations are just too much. They're just too much and crazy. Yeah, they're just crazy. So spending patterns. Oh, I can see he bought food, and yeah, so it's just crazy. These informations are just too crazy. Okay, fine. So let's get to the next item on Recon. So this is also these are services you can use for Recon. Sorry, I spent more time on Doja. Smile Identity is another. I can enter your driver's license, your CAC, whatever number, and this applies to those in Africa with each of these identities. I can query your PII information, and so any individual. So you can literally as far as that person is in Africa, with each of these tools, you can get to know their private information, and this is a problem. And you can then exploit their private information. I know the bank. Oh, cool. Does it use a USSD or use the mobile banking? I can I can still, yeah, see like the somebody who was arrested for BVN security issues. Sorry, somebody was arrested for BVN security issues in Nigeria, and what he does is when he steals your phone, he browses through your contact list. He sees your available account number, so he begins to scan for 10 digits. He said most people will save their BVN. You can always dial the BVN code and get your BVN, save your account number. Some people even save some passwords, and so it's a crazy thing. Yeah, so I scan for 10-digit number. I can get your BVN. I can get your account numbers. um Crazy. Yeah, so if he steals your phone, he can get this information, and he can begin like the UBLO or your banking chatbot via Facebook or whatever. I can begin to interact with this stuff, and even without your authorization. So yeah, so technology is really lacking, is really lagging behind, in especially in the finance space in Africa, as to identity, true identity of personalities. And the bad ones are taking advantage of this, the hackers are taking advantage of this, then governments are really taking advantage of this, and this is a problem. And that's why the last protest that happened somewhere in Africa, in Nigeria, and government was shutting down organizations' account numbers and all of that. It's a big problem. So we're now in the era where people need to fight against these things. Okay, fine, cool. So let me show us one on one pipe. Open documentation for one pipe, and documentation for Smile, documentation for one pipe. There are so many more. There are so many more startups coming like this in Africa, and this is a global thing. So if you check out, if you've done some purchases of recent at Amazon, you see Amazon is now demanding for some numbers, some yeah, some government ID numbers, and they are verifying these things. So that means there are some service providers who are providing this service to Amazon for Africans, and it's a problem. So I can see payments, I can see okay, undercharge. Um, okay, let's check up on lookup. I can see linked accounts. So linked accounts. So what parameter does link account take? So email, mobile number. Yeah, so imagine I supply these things, and I can get the linked account to that particular. It's crazy. Account information. Yeah, so this another startup rendering this service. Linked cards. Yeah, so and then if I find the card and I know the phone number or whatever, so you begin to connect. By the time you do a very good level recon, you just see automatically begin to connect several dots, and you can take down any organization, literally down, like any organization. So the strong organizations and powerful organizations, you see, they hide their employees, their key employees. They try to hide these guys and hide and place a lot of stuff on stealth, and have a very strong company policy as to posting things, and even posting your private life and so many things. Like, then they constantly do pen testing on each of their employees. So these things are just ways and guides. So you can strengthen your own security. Like any organization can be hacked, but you can just strengthen yours, build multiple layers of security around all items you do in your organization. Yeah, so this we're going to be learning May 25th. We're going to be learning a lot on attack and on defense, even on investigation. We can investigate, so even if the files have been deleted, so many things have been changed and all of that, so we can investigate. Oh, and hack a hack to place. Do not if you check the NSO group, you check the last CNN reporters to the NSO group, you see that so many people are vulnerable to the NSO malware. So the NSO group, so they have this 0-day exploit that they can use in tracking anybody down, and several governments of different countries are going to buy such softwares from the NSO group and going down to Israel to go pick some of these softwares and tools. So these things are very crazy. Okay, fine. So let's look at some more items. Sorry, I'm very fast, and I'll soon read the chats. the messaging session, so I can respond to some messages. So you can check out Doja, you can check out Smile Identity, you can check out One Pipe. There are so many more. Like there are so many more. Um, we're going to experiment, like live experimentation with each of these stuffs for the May 25th class, because then we're going to be diving deep into taking down individuals. You try to see how you go across their day-to-day banking systems and break through each of these stores and extract their money. And this is crazy. Or whatever information, extract it. This is crazy. So so forget the hype around some organizations having to do a lot of advert and they look strong. I don't know. A lot are just very weak, and a lot have very weak security persons. So I'm trying to pop up a tool, and we'll look at Multego. So you can check out Multego. You can check out WhatsApp. So let me share my screen on Multego. Um, yeah. So I just have few more minutes, and I'll be out. So this is on Multego. I can then begin to query. Sorry, my screen is small. It's just because of the whole presentation thing here. So if I drag out, I think I've just done that. I drag out, so I drag out a particular domain name. I can then change this. So Multego is just, I have a few minutes. Sorry, I just try to close out soon. So let's say I enter facebook.com, and so Multego then have several transforms I can apply. So yeah, so what ignorant people get to do is just come down here and just do apply all transforms. It takes a lot of time, no? So I can just come down here. You can see find in entity properties, find document, explore historical snapshots, email addresses. Sorry, there's so many informations you can explore. So I can come down to DNS. I say okay, fine. Do find common DNS names. So you can see down here the output session stuffs are running. So I can see, sorry, let me make this viewable. So you can go play with Multego and you can see, oh, nice. I can see secured of Facebook. I can see NS of Facebook. I can see DNS of Facebook. That's the DNS server blocked of Facebook. I can run another transform. I can, as many transforms I want to run. Yeah, on the DNS information, on the email address and people involved and all of that. And Multego begins to build this whole UI thing for me. Okay, so I'll be closing out soon. So there are several things I want to show you. Yeah, you want to check the network range. So you check based on the IP address on rn.net. Sorry, hold on. Let me share my screen so we can close out. Then I take questions. Sorry, it's just 2 hours, so it's very difficult for me to try to navigate a lot of things within 2 hours. Okay. So under the application security check, the whois lookup, you do a whois lookup. I'll share my slides. You check the framework you use. You check Wayback Machine. Yeah, so Wayback Machine is something that is called the archive. Yeah, the internet archive of things. So I can go through the Wayback Machine, enter Facebook or whatever site, and it shows me the older versions of their website. Inspect the source codes, both as an authenticated user and unauthenticated user. Try to decompile whatever app, the IP address range. So I would have, even because of time, I would have checked them rn.net, and you see the block of IP assigned to SpectraNet. And yeah, and each of these people within the block, there are also other targets. I can try to hit. I can now then begin to do a scan, a port scan. Like there's so many things you can do. A port scan hitting and using Nmap, doing a port scan, hitting each of the IP address within the subnet range that Iron.net have assigned to SpectraNet. So understanding what to do is just the key thing. So see Bogmito I shared initially. Here you can check username and passwords. Company registration, you can check. I would have checked Facebook registration, and you see the board members and all. Check GitHub, yeah. Sorry, GitHub, yeah. So some companies leave their codes on GitHub on public instead of private. Yeah, so error in configurations, and this is a very big problem. So you want to check the headers and catch. Sorry, let me expand this. So you do a vulnerability assessment. Because of time, I'll not be able to do that. Scan the mobile app. Yeah, so but I'll be sharing links to each of this stuff. So I use Qualys. So you can try Qualys. You can try Nexus. These are vulnerability scanner. There's Nikto, but I recommend Qualys because you're just getting started. You can open Qualys and run a vulnerability scan on Facebook or whatever. Then Quint security scan. Yeah, because of time, so I can't show you this. So the quinzysecurity.com, you'll be able to scan mobile applications. So you can scan Android app and mobile iOS apps, and it tells you the vulnerabilities involved with the versions of library. So I was meant to, because of the 2 hour session, sorry, I'm meant to show you stuffs around this. I'm going to show you around the advanced, more advanced check, information gathering, vulnerability analysis using Metasploit and Google hacking, even Shodan. Yeah, so because of time, let's see if we can open Shodan before we close out. Even Wireshark for packet sniffing. But a lot of these things for the May 25th class, that's why it's an 8 weeks class, and we're going to be running several sessions based on flexible timings. So it's going to be an 8 weeks class. So you'll be learning a lot. Now, one of the things we are doing is not just to teach you cybersecurity, because we are updated with current information, and we're also among the individuals trying to see how we can beat the current standards of things and try to improve, leveraging on artificial intelligence and machine learning, trying to exploit some of these kits at low level and try to see what's going on at low level. And also you'll be seeing a lot of new things. You've seen a lot of new things. So it's something that you want to sign up after this course. True color check, a lot of things I want to show you, but because of time, um, then on the physical check, yeah, so you can check the company physical address, check if their wireless is accessible. Yeah, so you drive down, check if their wireless is accessible, check to see if you can kidnap or hijack their devices of their technology admin person. Yeah, these are some of the things you can do. Like I said, irrespective of your motive. Check the company's trash dispose. Yeah, try enter the company pretending to be a staff. Um, sorry, try enter the company pretending to be a staff, and social engineer. Sorry, trying to share my screen back. Uh, so try to steal access identification, social engineer your way in. That is using cup of coffee approach. Yeah. So this, yeah. So I've seen a successful attack that went on using cup of coffee, and the attacker went in holding 2 cups of coffee, very filled up to the brim, and yeah, he was able to beat him. So an existing employee helped him open the door. Oh, sorry. So is somebody, the tie is well suited up and holding 2 cups of coffees and without bag. So you feel he was coming out of the company, and you help him open the door, not knowing that he is an outsider, is a stranger. So yeah, so we just have 4 minutes more to close out. And yeah, so I was going to explain some things around pinging. And yeah, so in closeouts, information is the oil of the 21st century, and analytics is the combustion engine, yeah, according to this guy here, a Gartner researcher. And this is why Google, Apple, Facebook, and all other companies collecting vast amount of users' information should be feared, as they are causing more death to users' privacy. So let's take questions, and we'll see how we can attend to most of these questions. Then we call it a day. Questions, please. Questions, please. Okay, you can ask your question, please. Just unmute yourself and ask your question. Hello. Ask your question, please. So can you use your phone for attack? Yes. You can use your phone to attack systems. Yes, so you can use your phone. So if you even check, if you try downloading Kali Linux, you will see that Kali has there's the version of Kali that is called Net Hunter. So with Net Hunter, so you can run it on your Nexus device. You can have almost every single, so not every what you have on your Kali OS on the Net Hunter, and you use your phone to break down systems. And or then even you can build tools and use your phone to do a lot of stuff yourself. Then there are a lot of recon tools on Play Store, especially Android Play Store. So you can do a ping, you can do several analysis. So because of time, I was unable to show us some pinging analysis and nmap. So there are nmap scanners on Play Store. You can check open ports for servers. So I was going to do these things, but because of time. Okay. Host, kindly permit some people to unmute to ask their question. Is it legal to use services like Doja, OnePipe? Yes. Yes, you can design a mobile app that uses these services to obtain info. Yes. Yes. These are companies rendering these services, so you can use them. Admin, kindly help, please. Some people are trying to ask more questions. Yes, this is the only free session. Yeah. So there's the pay session that's coming up May 25th. So you subscribe for the pay session, and a lot of this information is going to be disseminated. So who's asking a question again? It's 7 o'clock. Please, I use Temox on my phone to hack sometimes, but please, I need a similar app on iPhone. Build your own. Build yours. So firstly, what's the Temox app doing for you, and how can you replicate that system? So it's 7 already. Admin, can you help out, please? We'll take one final question before we call it a day. One final question.
Hello.
Admin.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, David. It was really a wonderful time we had with you. I really appreciate your way of discharging the whole thing with the little amount of time you have. Well, I have just one question to ask with regards to the upcoming training you're preparing for us. I believe it's going to be really interesting.
Okay.
One suggestion, please. It would be nice also for you, like you've tried as much as you can to use the time you have now to explain the theoretical part of the whole thing. That's really interesting. Sounds really interesting. And personally speaking on my own self, I'm highly motivated for the training. So it would be nice for you to try and your organization to try and make it more practical oriented during the training part. That would be really interesting, you understand me, to get everybody's hands dirty. You understand me? That would be
yeah. So this.
Okay. So then
So
lastly,
as to the practical, yeah, we did a little practical today.
yeah, I know.
Are you there?
Yes, I know
Yeah,
that.
but time.
Yes, time, I know. You
Okay.
really tried a lot. You tried.
The for fifth.
Then finally
Okay,
for the
thank you.
tools you outlined, the URLs you showed that we can go and practice on certain things. I believe as intending already existing cybersecurity official, for you to become a good one, you have to think like one and act like one at the same time for you to be a good defensive cybersecurity professional. So with the tools you said you must have used them before giving it out to us. Are they safe? Because I know some tools can be running underneath and be grabbing your details to get me. So I don't know.
Okay, are you done with your question?
Yes. So, and lastly, how do we know some tools are really okay and safe to be used on our machines? Thank you.
Okay, makes sense. So firstly, understanding. Let me start from the tools. The question for the tools. So understanding what the tool does is very important. Understanding what the tool does is very important, and yeah, so you want to try to test this thing. So if you are trying to carry out a firewall attack, you want to simulate a local network, see some of these things, see what it is doing, see what the firewall can capture, see how you can go stealth. Although some of these tools, the information is already available. Then even from my own experience, I'm going to be sharing with every one of us the tools that are stealth. So not just sharing, we're going to be checking these things out. Even we're going to be analyzing the network traffic that exists between the target and the host. We'll be seeing what and what is being exchanged network-wise between the two and the target computer, and you see if the two is leaking out whatever information there be. So then as to practical, yeah, so you can see when we tried on the net hunter, so it took almost 3-4 minutes. So and there are several tools like on the Montego, there are several tools on information security, on the several recon tools that we can use. Even on the Doja, we can log into the Doja, but because of time, yeah, so we can't cover all of these things within 2 hours. So this 2 hour session is just to whet our appetite on recon. I shared the material. You see some of these links. You go through them, you try them yourself, and you have questions. That's why we have the group, the Telegram group. You have questions, you drop your questions. I try to attend to these questions. Then we prepare ourselves further for 25th class. And the 25th class is going to be an 8 weeks long class every day, 2 hours. So it's going to be running between Tuesday and Friday, 8 weeks class, every day, 2 hours. And this class, we're going to be taking it. I'm not going to be this fast. We'll take it one step at a time, one approach at a time, one strategy at a time. We see what is happening, not just me recommending. No, you have to see what's going on. You have to understand what's going on behind the scene. There's some of these tools. We build some of these tools. There's a part where we use Python 3 and Python 2 to build some hacking tools. So I'm not just looking for
But
one
scripting, okay,
Thermos.
good.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
we
That's good.
build
That's
some
good.
of
That's
these
good.
tools. So that's why I said cybersecurity. If you joined us initially at the beginning stage, I say cybersecurity. It's not just tools and having to leverage existing tools. No, it's understanding
Exactly.
what's going on, and yeah, so understanding what's going on, then coming up with ways to beat around these things. Yeah,
Thank you
so
very
I think I
much.
was able to answer
It's
your
clear.
question. Yeah, you're
Yes,
welcome.
it's clear. It's clear. Thank you. Thank you.
Are we still going to be okay? Cool. Admin, do you have any final statement for us before we leave?
Yes, I do. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Obi, for a very wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. We've learned so much. In fact, if I haven't learned anything today, I've taken note of the coffee technique. Maybe I'll try it out. So I just have
Oh,
something quick to pass across. So on the Telegram group, if you haven't joined, please check the chat box. We've dropped the link. Kindly join the Telegram group because there's a survey ongoing right now. We want you to fill it for us. The link is in the chat box. That's one. And secondly, to kindly follow us on social media. We are Bloom Africa Academy on Facebook, Bloom Africa Academy on Instagram, and then you can WhatsApp us. You have our WhatsApp numbers. If you do not, please check our website, www.bloomafrica.academy. So we hope to see you guys on the 25th of May. For those who are interested, please take our number. It's +23355 0236848 +23355 0236848. Or better still, you can chat us on Telegram. It was a very wonderful experience to have everyone here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking our time from your busy schedules to join today's session. And I hope you learned a lot. It's been an eye-opening one for so many people. The pace was very fast, so that we could cover so much material. And I'm sure you've learned a lot today. So without further ado, I would hand over the floor back to Mr. Obi for his final remarks. But please, we are dropping the links in the chat box. Kindly take note of the Instagram, take note of the Facebook, and take note of the Telegram links. Thank you very much. Mr. Obi, the floor is yours.
Okay, guys. Once again, it's a pleasure having to. Yeah, sorry for the starters. I'm dropping the slide on the group, and you can take advantage of the slides. Each of the link. Please try to harness these things. Try them out. Ask questions, and I'll respond to each of these questions on the group. And you can always contact me through any of the social media platforms. And you can feel free to even run a reconnaissance on, who is Obi Ebuka David? Yeah, feel free. You can try. You can start by Googling Obi Ebuka David. And once again, it's a pleasure having to have this session. And I can't wait to see every one of us May 25th. And let's do this once again. And let's defend our privacy and make the world a better place. Cheers, guys. And see you May 25th.